Hello everybody, Gabby Turner here, and welcome to all of my psychics who've decided to join me for this reading. It's pretty open-ended, but just, what do you need to know as a psychic right now about your psychic abilities? Again, it's open-ended, so we'll just see what comes through. I am getting just a general message for everyone watching that it's a great idea to think about utilizing our psychic talents as playfulness, or approaching it with a sense of playfulness and fun, maybe not being so serious about it. And that might be a way to kind of, tap into it more, or just, because there's a lot of times like worry or concern about like, well, am I being accurate? Or, am I doing a good enough job here? Can actually be a blockage. So I think that that's part of the message, part of why that's coming through. But also just to realize it's fun to have psychic abilities. Sometimes it doesn't feel fun. Sometimes it feels like, we can become aware of things psychically that we'd rather not be aware of. But I think that our spirit guides are asking us to invite in more of that sense of fun and playfulness, and to see where that will lead us. But I do have 3 options here from left to right. The first one has 3 stones on the top. It has a heart-shaped golden healer. I think it's golden healer quartz, but it's called golden healer stone. And then we have this amethyst point, and we have this super 7 stone, which is like 7 different gemstones all in the same rock. And then we have this selenite heart here in the middle, and over here on the right we have this lapis lazuli heart. So go ahead and take a moment to get into your intuition, to determine which option or options are calling out most to you. In some cases, maybe none of the options will be. But once you have honed in on which reading or readings you'd like to watch, you can just use the timestamps below and go directly to your reading. I'll see you there. Welcome to everyone who chose option number 1 with these beautiful assortment of stones here. So I'm definitely getting a strong life purpose energy. I think that you guys are very connected to your life purpose, whether it specifically relates to you being psychic, or whether you're using your psychic abilities to help you take each next step of the journey. It does feel like you're very aligned with a particular life purpose. I feel like you know about some major life purpose that you have. And I think that it is some sort of purpose where you are meant to give to the world in some way, to serve other people in some way. You do have a very strong third eye chakra. We have the third eye coming up twice here. With this card, Insight opens the third eye to strengthen intuition, and this third eye, visions, manifesting, meditation. So I definitely feel like you are very good at utilizing your third eye. I do feel like there is a blockage though, because we have this card that says stuck. You may be stuck because you were overly attached to a method or piece. And what I feel like is going on, because we have Lilith and Aries here, these are both very forceful, self-determined energies. And also Gypsy Soul, it's like you have to do things your own way. You have this beautiful inner fire, and that is the source of your magic and your ability to manifest like tremendously. I mean, like I think that you have the ability to manifest things that are beyond belief. You really do. And you are able to utilize your third eye to sort of envision that, perhaps. Envision the possibilities, and then with the Capricorn card, put in the hard work and the determination to bring it into fruition. So you've got so much going for you. But there could be times when maybe you get stuck on, well, this is how so-and-so does this, or this is how the average person goes about succeeding with this particular thing, or utilizing their psychic abilities. So I should do what other people are doing. But I think that you are such a free spirit, with both the Lilith, Aries, and Gypsy Soul. It's like you kind of have to do things your own way. And you need to pay attention to that and not push it away. I think it's a time for healing and purifying and refining any part of you that is trying to give away your own inner sense of, but this is how I need to live my life. In order to fulfill my purpose, I need to do it this way. Maybe everyone else is going down this other path over here, but I have to find my own path. It's not just taking a different path. I think for a lot of you, it's like forging a path that never existed before. And that in and of itself is part of the miracle, because I think, you know, regardless of the specifics of your life purpose, in a general sense, part of your purpose is to show people what is possible through you doing just that. You do have a lot of luck on your side here. Like there's a lot of magic. I mean, you just have a naturally strong magic ability to manifest things. And part of it is because you have such a wonderful ability to envision all of the possibilities. And like I said, really work towards them. There's a devotion to your dreams, fulfilling your dreams. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I feel absolutely. You are that person. You believe wholeheartedly in your dreams. And I think for the most part, you believe wholeheartedly in yourself. But I think that there is that part of you that maybe gets pulled in by the bandwagon effect. And this is just saying the bandwagon is not meant for you. Like, look how happy she is here on this card. I feel like this is you when you recognize that you are your own, you are your own being, and you're such a powerful being. And when you let go and allow your third eye to be that compass, as I think you already are strongly doing, but like when you let go of any other tugs or pulls that might be pulling you in a different direction from your own inner compass, wow. You're going to see like so much prosperity coming in, whatever that happens to mean for you. Like anything that you've been stuck with will become unstuck. And you may have been trying to have success with certain things just because other people are trying to succeed with those things, right? Well, other people seem to want this, so I should be trying to get this, but it's not working for me. It's like unsticking yourself in all ways from what the masses are doing, wanting, and how they're going about trying to achieve what they want. You're just different. You're unique. You are you. There is no other you, which is true of all of us. But like your fire, your inner fire is so strong when you really just follow your own heart. All right, so that's most of what I get here just from these oracle cards, but I am going to use some tarot to see if I can get a specific message to you as well from your guides. This is such a difficult deck to shuffle, but I do love it. Let me shuffle it over here. All right, what does pile one need to know other than what's already been said? Anything they really need to know? Because I think, with the caregiver card, that's where I think, too, you get maybe off your own path because there is this need to give to other people, which is part of your purpose, to serve other people. But the way that you're meant to serve other people most is through being you. So if you're trying to serve other people through not being true to yourself, then that's not fully aligned with your purpose. You're aligning with a part of it, but not the full thing. Yeah, Three of Cups reversed. Like, you just can't go with the group. It isn't you. Yeah, what other people do, I mean, the cards are just saying what I've already said. Like, what other people are doing is not your path. It's no judgment on them. It doesn't mean that it's wrong for them, but it's not going to get you to where you need to be. And there's somewhere wonderful that you are meant to be, and you will get there. I mean, you're already there. You're already where you're meant to be, right? We're always exactly where we're meant to be. but to continue to move into this purpose and continue to fulfill this purpose, it's not even something that you can learn from anyone else. And I'm getting a message here. This isn't about, being prideful and thinking like, well, I'm so special. Nobody is like me. We're all special, but it's just about saying that if we don't have that element of water, of really coming from the heart in the best way, sometimes we think that when we're in a caregiver energy and we're serving other people's needs, sometimes it's because of a more like codependent attitude. It's like, well, I want to be nice to this person so I can get niceness in return. But this is blocking, of course, your full magic, your full power. I'm also getting a message here of letting go of any fears of competition. You can't compete with anyone. Nobody else can compete with you because you're running a completely different race. So there is no competition here. All you have to focus on is what are you doing? Why are you doing it? You're doing it because you feel intuitively called in that direction. And because you're trusting your intuition, you can let go of any of those fears and just fully step into courage. The courage to be just you and you alone, completely refined and purified. Work with the element of water for healing, purification, and refinement. And you got the golden healer quartz. So yeah, this healing through a removal of anything that is trying to influence. We're influenced all the time. We're influenced through advertisements. We're influenced through looking at other people's social media or just hearing other people talk about their lives and their choices. And we're just being pulled in different directions all the time, trying to figure out our own path. But like when you just release that and let that go, your own signal, your own guiding light is so strong. The fire is burning so bright. And for the most part, I think you can't avoid it because it is so bright. But it's just like doing that further method of refining. And just as a final message, maybe making sure that you are drinking enough water, doing salt baths, things like that. Just simple things like that could help with that refinement and purification process. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to everyone who chose option number 2, the Selenite Heart. So I'm going to start with these cards right here. We have Labyrinth, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibrations, enlightenment, spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides, and self-confidence, strong self-belief, and a sense of worth. I really feel like you're on the precipice of leveling up. And I think that this is in particular, it's a leveling up just overall, but also a leveling up in your psychic abilities. And like really like stepping more fully into a stronger sense of your power. And what a lot of it takes is trust and faith that you do have strong abilities. This says immersion and intuition. When you reach the end of what you should know, you will be at the beginning of what you should sense. And I do feel like that's really what you're doing right now. Like you might feel a little bit like you're walking around in the dark, and that's a great place to be. That's where this transition period is leading you. This is showing a labyrinth or a maze. As you're walking through a maze, maybe not a labyrinth exactly, but as you're walking through a maze, you don't exactly know where you're going. You kind of have to feel your way through it a little bit. We also have higher self and Libra. So I feel like part of what is happening for you right now is you're getting more and more in touch with your higher self, and you're trusting that those hunches that are coming from your higher self really are coming from that place. And you're able with the Libra to sort of sort things out. You know, it's not like you want to lose touch with your logical sense of what's right and wrong, but I think you're finding more of a balance between intuition and logic. And as you find the balance between those two, you have a really excellent sense of what your higher self is knowing for you. We also have, with this inspiration and courage and earth magic, I really get a sense that you're probably someone who's very effective at utilizing psychic tools. Here she's got a crystal ball and candles. She's got crystals and looks like maybe a bowl of salt and a magic wand and some sage. So yeah, I mean, I think that this is a time to like have fun with and use that higher self knowing, that intuitive knowing, to guide you to what sorts of magical psychic tools you should be experimenting with. Because I think that I mean, I feel like you probably are already using things like this, but it seems like that's going to be part of the process. Is okay, my intuition seems to be drawing me to, I've never used a wand before. Maybe I should start trying to use a wand, or whatever it happens to be. Your intuition will know the way for you. I do feel as well that a lot of you have mediumistic abilities with loved one in heaven. You're very connected with your loved ones. I feel a real protective energy from your loved ones in heaven as well. Let me see, what message can I get? I feel like there's some maybe specific message here about loved one in heaven. Yeah, I think that some of you may either have a career as a psychic, or you're thinking about it, and you may, with this secrets card, maybe not everyone in your family or just everyone who you know is someone who it would be wise to share that with. It says, conceal plans and actions from those not ready to accept you as you are. I think that your loved ones in heaven do accept you because they can sort of see the higher picture, even if it's not something that they would particularly be into themselves. They do kind of see, more from their own higher self as well, that this is a path that you need to follow. So I think there is a message from anyone who's crossed over, that they do see this is definitely a calling of yours. They would want you to have self-confidence as you journey down this path. And I feel like there's a message too that, some people who have maybe a negative view of what you're doing, a lot of people we have shadow self and pentagram. A lot of people have very negative reactions to any type of psychic work, or, using tarot cards or crystal balls or anything like that. As we have to accept our own shadows, we do have to accept other people's shadows as well. And in this case, people are projecting their own fears onto you. I'm also getting the sense that some people are just scared of this type of thing, especially mediumistic things, like being in touch with those who've crossed over, but like psychic abilities in general. It's just scary to a lot of people. And that's anything that is fear-based is connected to our shadow. And because they're afraid themselves of being in contact with psychic or supernatural experiences, there is an energy here where these people may be projecting onto you that you're the person to be feared, or something of that nature, or just viewing you as a quote-unquote bad person for being involved in these things. But also notice with this pentagram that there is, it's like this spider web behind us, behind the pentagram here, which reminds me of just, how we're all connected. It also says harmony here. We are all connected. And so I think that, you may just, maybe there are some people who you just can't share this aspect of your life with very freely, or it's just not a wise idea to be bringing it up in conversation with certain people. And that's okay. You can respect them through not trying to force your particular path onto them, or putting either of you into an uncomfortable situation by bringing it up. And you can respect yourself enough if other people are saying rude things to you about, your chosen path as a psychic, to understand, what, I am as I am, and I am a unique and necessary part of the whole. I love myself. I understand that this person is coming from this fear-based perspective, and that's okay, because we're all human and we all do come from that place sometimes. So you kind of have to have this self-confidence and strong self-belief and sense of self-worth, especially because, you have to really draw upon that sometimes because of the backlash that you might be getting from other people at times. All right, other than that, I feel like I'm getting a message here maybe about sacred geometry and the golden mean, or alchemy, or something along those lines. So I just want to understand what that message is. We have the Eight of Pentacles and then Knight of Wands. I do feel like, there is a nudge here, because there's a nudge to work with tools. That sacred geometry in particular might be something to work with and explore more fully, and just see what sort of insights you learn along that path. I think in particular, learning more about what the pentagram, or in general, what certain shapes mean. But I think in the pentagram, I'm going to read from the book, that deck. The book that card came from, because there's a little bit of scary stuff in relation to this. But I think that your guides want you to explore this more fully, to see what your beliefs are about it. How do you feel about it? What does it mean to you? All right. The pentagram contains layers of meanings. The ancient Greeks, Babylonians, I think that's pronounced Taoists, Freemasons, and pagans all used the pentagram as a symbolic modality. Today's neo-pagan Wiccans typically use the pentagram star shape inside a protective circle to represent the four elements of life and the ether spirit element, with the most important top-pointed arrow of the star being the spirit, because it esoterically links life and directs all the other elements. Pythagoras ascribed the divine proportions of the pentagram to fractal equally eternally in the golden section, 1 plus the sum of itself. Pythagoreans associated the pentagram symbol with health and well-being of the human body. The inverted pentagram alone is usually a reference to the Baphomet and a sigil for post-Christian Satanism. The ancient Chinese assigned the pentagram to explain wuxing. I don't know. The earth, metal, water, wood, and fire transitions are moments or different phases of energy and phenomena. So at its worst, it can indicate like materialism, or, an being overly focused on earthly materialistic goals or sensual overindulgence, just like the devil card in tarot can refer to that. But at its best, it signifies the golden mean, which is saying that we have the ability to transition our souls to a higher level of being through understanding proportions. One of the ways that I apply this or understand it is that, they say that if you've done wrong to someone or hurt someone, in order to make up for that, you have to give that person 5 acts of kindness. So 5 acts of kindness for every act of hurtfulness is how you maintain harmony with another person or with the world or with anything. 5 acts of kindness or goodness for every act of harm. A lot of witches have this mindset of do no harm, but we're human and, that's just a part of us. We will cause harm, but we have to be mindful of our proportions of it and really actively be trying to exist primarily from a place of goodness and kindness in order to continue to spiral our souls upward in an ascension pattern. Is there anything else for pile 2? Anything else? We have a lot of emphasis on air here and family. Something about family and other people's understandings of maybe what you're doing psychically. Yeah, I think it is just just a final reminder. You may have family members who are paying attention even to what you're doing online. So even if you're not saying it to them directly, they're going to be noticing. If you have social media or anything like that, they're going to be noticing and they will be forming judgments and opinions, And so what's the message about that? Yeah, it's again, it's sort of like trying to find that balance or that point of harmony. What is the balance here between you being free to express yourself and between, being afraid, maybe being fearful of what people's reactions are. I think it really has to do with your intention. What intention are you putting into it? Are you purposely wanting to provoke or hurt the feelings of people who disagree with you? Or is it simply you just expressing yourself with this sort of enthusiastic nature, like, wow, I'm just really excited about, learning about witchcraft or whatever it happens to be. It's just to be mindful of, because energy matters. Energy definitely has an effect. And especially with this shadow card, a lot of times we can be putting out energies and we're not conscious of it. We might think, oh, I'm being real nice. I'm only doing this from a good place. But I think that this is a little bit of a nudge to kind of examine what your motives and intentions are when you're putting things out there. Not just that your family might see, but generally speaking. All right, so I hope that was helpful, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello to everyone who chose number 3, the lapis lazuli. So it's funny because lapis lazuli, I don't normally focus a lot on the meanings of the gemstones that I use as my pick a card options, but I know that lapis lazuli, partly because I don't know a lot about gemstone meanings, although I do, they are pretty and I like them. But lapis lazuli, I believe, has a lot to do with happiness. And I do get this sense that you're a very cheerful person and you bring a lot of cheerfulness to any social situation, but I think some of you don't recognize that. But we do have the introvert card here, so I think that a lot of you are maybe more introverted. For some of you, that might mean shyness in addition. For others, introversion is just like, oh man, I don't really have the energy to get out here and be social. you know. It takes a lot, maybe it takes a lot out of you to be social, regardless of the fact that you might not be shy at all. It's just draining for you. But I do feel like you're being reminded of the importance of you being around other people, maybe sharing your psychic gifts or just talking about it to other people, because I feel like there's an ability that you have to kind of bring a freshness and a new vitality to people who maybe normally don't talk about those types of things, or it's just fun. Again, in the introduction, I talked about, for all of the readings today, there was a reminder to remember playfulness and fun when it comes to our psychic abilities. We don't have to be so serious about it, right? These are fun abilities that we have. And as Earthlings right now, we're going through this ascension process where more and more people are becoming aware of their psychic abilities, which we all have. And I think that with you guys, like having fun with that around other people, where other people can enjoy it and see it as a sense of play as well, where it doesn't have to be so heavy and serious, but like, hey, let's just see what happens if, I look at your astrological chart, or, you want to ask a question from the tarot and I'll see what comes through, or, this reminds me too of the Long Island medium, Teresa Caputo, because she is such a fun personality and she just walks up to strangers. She is definitely not an introvert, but she just walks up to strangers and channels their loved ones from the other side, which you'd think that would be like a heavy thing, but like she approaches it in such a lighthearted way that, I don't know, she just brings a lot of magic and joy to other people's lives, right? So I feel like, although you probably are more introverted, this is a group reading, so maybe you're not all introverts, but I think that there is that playful side of you that does want to get out there and have the adventure maybe of being more social, but there is something that's holding you back. I do feel like your spirit guides are really nudging you in that direction. We have the enchanted evening, the perfect night. The festival creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. Are we sensing a theme here? And then air, work with the element of air to cut through to the core of a situation and see the truth. I think that there's something about what you know and what you've experienced maybe regarding your psychic and supernatural abilities, supernatural experiences, psychic talents, that it's just going to be really fun for other people to know more about it. So if you've been inspired maybe, to, do some tarot readings at a party or something like that, or have some people over for like, hey, let's give each other readings or something along those lines. I do feel, there's like a really excited push from your spirit guides to go in that direction. And, and for some of you, it might mean using your willpower to really nudge yourself as well. Use your willpower to bravely overcome thoughts of compromise and defeat. So if you're focused on what all of the negatives are and getting into a victim mindset of like, well, if I do that, I don't know, maybe people won't be receptive. This reading is saying people will be super receptive, and it's like going to make people happy as well, is what I think. And I think that happiness and fun are kind of like, it says, focus your mind. Thank you, angels, for helping me to focus on my priorities. Happiness and fun are a real priority for you right now, despite what you might think is your priority. Maybe you think your priority is work or chores or your to-do list or responsibilities or staying at home and reading a book with a cup of tea, But you're probably already doing those things plenty. Having these enchanted evenings, going out to a festival or something, this is what you're not doing. And so, in some way or other, you need to get yourself out there and connect to other people. And there are ways to do that online as well. If you are concerned with social distancing, you definitely can get a group of people together online or join with groups of people together online in order to talk about and express and have fun with psychic abilities. So we have this Gerbera daisy, for example. It says purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. So they do want you to focus on all the positives when you are interacting with people, instead of getting into this victim mindset of like, oh, I don't really want to be here. I don't want to do this. Do these people even care about, what this is? Because we have the curiosity card. Absolutely. Like, I feel like a lot of people would be curious to know more about what you know about psychic stuff, psychic things. Actual school may have taught me that studying is kind of boring, but the school of life proves that playful as heck exploration, plus around every corner inspiration abound. So today, I'll brush away any been there, done that dust from my eyes and brighten them with a fresh and glossy coat of curiosity. Excelsior! That's funny, like he's dressed as a knight, and then there's a knight up here too as well. And even this knight looks kind of playful. Like, is this a real knight? No, this is probably someone dressed up in a costume just because they think it's funny to be dressed up as a knight. But yeah, I mean, then there's a lion here again, which has to do with, having the courage to overcome any inhibitions or just not wanting to do it type energy when it comes to, interacting with other people. This card, Lawrence, it also says strength, courage, and bravery. And it's like just having fun. What was I going to say? Hold on just a moment. With this curiosity card as well, like maybe you want to go to some sort of meetup group or something where other people are talking about things as well that you could learn from them, in a kind of a fun social format. And a lot of those groups are also meeting online via Zoom and things like that. So, and then this card says feeling safe, wisdom keepers concern. Like there's just so much wisdom to be shared in a very fun and social atmosphere. And this is what, on both of these cards, we're showing people like connecting from the heart, affirmation for healing the heart. Like you never know what a source of comfort you might be to someone else. And your spirit guides are definitely telling you that there are people out there, maybe unbeknownst to you, who would be so comforted just from like hearing what you have to say, your story, like maybe your psychic awakening story, or just hearing you talk about experiences you've had or share your gifts. Like people are going to be like rapt with attention, and you might get scared. Like you might have some dude like this staring at you. Like, what is his facial expression? Like I would be looking at this guy and be like, dude, that dude is judging me hardcore, but we don't know what's happening inside of his mind. He's rapt with attention, right? He's very curious about what's being said. And so, again, don't get into that victim mindset of worrying what people are thinking. Like, people are going to think I'm weird, or, people aren't going to like me for being, this psychic, nutcase, or they're going to think that I'm crazy. That is a victim mindset. That's a fear-based mindset. A lot of these people that you might think are judging you are really just maybe mulling over in their brains something that they've never been exposed to before. And so it might be mentally challenging them or not. They could be just like super genuinely curious and like really like inspired by what you're saying. And you could be just reading their body language or their facial expressions incorrectly. I will say this, fear is the number one thing that will get in the way of our true intuition, because we often think that those fears are the intuition, but in fact it's like the curtain that's blocking the way, in fact. All right, so this is like a super interesting reading. I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite readings of the three. Ha ha ha, don't tell the other groups. But yeah, I mean, this is so fun. Like this goes back to what I was saying, like that I think all of the groups, the message for all of the groups was just about having fun and, viewing our psychic gifts as something to play with. People who aren't as exposed to that, are going to see it maybe as fun and exciting. All right, let's see what else. Anything else your guides want to say? We get the Knight of Wands coming up. Again, so many knights. So yeah, like I feel like that you Your spirit guides want you to have an adventure. They want you to go do something that you've never done before. Regarding maybe coming together with other people. You know, maybe if you're a psychic and you've never done a psychic fair before, either as the person, you know, having a table or booth, or someone just visiting and going around to see what all is there. Either way, like maybe finding something like that, or going to some metaphysical group that you've never been to before. But I definitely feel like there's this sense of have an adventure, open yourself up to a new experience. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have to be about you being the center of attention. It might be you, like I said, just going to a psychic fair, going around to the different booths, and just seeing what's out there. Maybe you've never had, you know, an aura photo taken before. Do that. That would be fun. And I think that for those of you who might be concerned about the money aspect, I think that in and of itself is an adventure and a challenge for you to figure out how to let go of some of the money mindsets that are holding you back. Maybe a victim mentality in terms of, well, there's not enough money. You know, there's always enough money to have fun. Fun inherently is free. Of course, there are lots of fun things that do cost money, but this would be an unhelpful mindset if you're just going to use that as an excuse. I think your spirit guides are trying to nudge you beyond that. Like, really? There's nothing fun that you can get out there and do as an adventure that you've never done before, that you can afford? I think that you can do that. You know, it's like, have some confidence in yourself. You know that you're more than capable. You're the emperor, so don't try to reverse yourself here. Yeah, there's definitely, some of you are using money as an excuse, or the lack of money. And just, I'm getting a strong message here for one thing. They want you as well to like use this adventurous moment to stretch your idea of having money or not having money. Like really address that money mindset that is making you feel like you can't afford fun, that you can only afford responsible things. That's definitely a mindset as well that needs to shift. You can afford to have fun. You can, some of you might even think, well, I don't have time to have fun because I have to be doing this and that and the other. No, 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 no. That's not what your spirit guides are saying. Your spirit guides are definitely saying, like, you gotta prioritize having fun. Thank you, angels, for helping me to focus on my priorities. There are some mindset blockages blocking some of you in terms of, you know, having a lack mentality, perhaps. And that could be about money and or like, I lack time to have fun. All of those things. So ask your angels to come in and do some healing work on that mindset so that you can get more into the mindset of happiness and joy and how you can engage with your psychic abilities more from that place of joyfulness. All right, guys, so I really hope that this was fun and helpful. And hey, it was free, right? So it was free fun. So here's an example right here of how that is very much within your possibilities to do that. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.